was about to leave, thanks to her for voting. So this is very random. I was like the person who put it in during the intermission. So this is a story about a very spooky date that I went on. Okay, so I met this girl out at a bar one night. It was really dark. So I didn't know what she really looked like, but I'm assuming that she's cute because it was dark, so you really can't tell. But I'm like, she's probably really cute. And I was like bored, probably lonely, maybe both. I don't know. So anyways, I get the girl's number. We talk on the phone a couple of times, but I don't really know anything about her. What I do know is that she doesn't have a car. So we plan a date, and I decide I'm going to go pick her up, of course. Call her, I'm telling her I'm on my way. She's like, well, I'm not home right now, I'm just up the block, but I'll be there by the time you get there. Okay, so, this is so ridiculous. So I get to the house, they open the door. This is a really big house. The neighborhood is so-so. I walk in the house is huge. I'm thinking before I walk in, this is gonna be a really nice house. This girl's like 23 years old. How does she live in this big house? I'm thinking, like, does she live with her parents? I guess it'll be okay because she's 23. Anyway, so I walk in the house. It's completely empty, like abandoned. So, like, there's no furniture, no nothing. There's black, I don't know, smut or something all over the floor. It was very weird. There's this girl just walking back and forth through the house and I'm like, and you are, oh, well, wait, let me say this. There's this one girl there that I did meet who was also at the bar with her. She was cool, she was nice, and she was like, hey, Christine's not here, she'll be back in a minute. Cool. Then there's this other random girl walking around, never saw this broad in my life. And I'm like, who's that? She's like, oh, she's like our manager. I'm like, what are you talking about? I know nothing about their lives, mind you. So she's like, do you want to see the house? Not really, because there's clearly nothing in it. It's weird. It's like black stuff everywhere. Fine, I'll see the house. Very weird that they show me this house because we go into different bedrooms and there's literally nothing in them. There are like mats on the floor, just mattresses on the floor. Oh, and there's a little girl running around who also has black stuff on her clothing. I'm thinking, so is this like a brothel or like, you know, like have they been imported from somewhere? Are they selling drugs? Like, I didn't know what was happening. And she also mentioned to me that there was a man who lived there who like kind of oversaw the house. So I'm thinking, okay, clearly this is a brothel or some sort of drug trade because there's a random girl who's your manager and a man who runs the house, whatever that means. And nobody has a bed or furniture or anything. And there's a weird little girl who's clearly like a product of whatever kind of situation is going on here. So, anyways, Christine comes back. I should also mention this. Everybody in the house, except for the manager, she has regular clothing on. She looks fine. Her hair is crazy, but otherwise she looks fine. But the other girl that I had met out that night has all these holes in her clothing. I'm like, why are there like fucking holes in her? What's happening? Like, I was like, okay, they're being starved, obviously, like, so they don't get fed. I don't know. So she takes a seat on the floor because there's nowhere to sit other than the floor with holes in her clothing. Christine comes back. We're about to go on the date. There's not that much time left, okay? Like, I'm waiting. I look amazing. She comes, I did, I have to be honest. So she comes into the house, and she looks fucking crazy. She has holes in her shirt as well. Like, okay, they're not feeding them. They're like, they don't have any clothing. They're forced to sleep on the floor, and there's black shit everywhere. It was weird. And she has this scarf tied around her head. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but black women, a lot of times before they go to bed, they will tie a scarf around their hair to make it look nice when they wake up in the morning. Her hair was crazy anyway, so no scarf was going to save it. It was like completely worthless. I wasn't really sure why she had it on, regardless. She had the scarf on her head, and she had holes in her shirt, and she had on leggings, which also had holes in them. I'm like, what's happening? Clearly she's not ready for the date, except she was. She was like, are you ready to go? I'm like, I guess so. I'm like, she was like, oh, well, you know, I was just up the street. I was trying to find a flat iron from one of our neighbors. So she was going door to door asking people to borrow a flat iron that she'd never met before to do her hair. She was like, I was thinking I would just bring it with me to the restaurant and do it there. So I was like, you know, like, this is a real story. So I was like, clearly this girl, like, these people are not normal people. They've always lived in these abandoned houses. They've never, like, had any training to be human beings. Like, something's not right. So she was like, I couldn't find one though. I'm like, great, so you're gonna go with holy clothes and a fucking scarf on your head. This is weird. But we go anyways to the restaurant. So what I do find out upon getting to the restaurant, her looking crazy, me looking like, I don't know, like Big Brother, Big Sister program, something. So we get to the restaurant and she tells me, so I'm wondering, like, so she's going to reveal to me that she's a sex slave or she's a drug mule or like she's in foster care even though she's 23. Like, I felt like I was going to find that out. No. We get to the bottom of it, she tells me, we're starving artists and we like write music and we're singers. I'm like, ugh, figures. And then all the black stuff on the floor, I'm like, and all the holes in her clothes, she's like, oh, she was really nice. She's like, I'm so sorry, like, but yeah, I know all the clothes have holes in them and stuff. She's like, but one, that's my daughter. Like, daughter, deal breaker. So just like, that's your kid? No. So then she tells me, well, all the holes in the black stuff, but that actually is we smoke hookah every day. And so all the ashes fall on our clothing, get on the floor. And that's why we look like this. But it's not because I don't really care, but we just love smoking hookah. And yeah, so that happened. And later on, I kept talking to her. Again, I was like bored or lonely or something, I don't know. And I eventually bought her some clothing. Because like, it was so crazy. Like, I couldn't keep being seen with this girl like this. I'm not even really sure why I kept talking to her, but I did. And she was really, really grateful. So that was like the scariest date of my life. And I hope to never experience that again. And I hope never any of you ever experience that. Thanks.